In this example, we're looking at ways to apply other stylistic features to text in Adobe InDesign. Many of these features are commonly known from uses in word processing software like Microsoft Word. In this example, we're going to be looking at Subscript, Superscript, Strikethrough, and Underline. These are applied as a style versus changed case, and the different options can be found either in your character panel in the Properties panel or in your control bar at the top. We have these options here. So either here in the character panel. The freestanding character panel window does not include these options, so you will be looking for these either in the Properties or Control panel where you have options for applying styles to text. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to apply a subscript. Subscripts are typically used for math equations, scientific notations, things like that. So in this instance, we have this headline, high quality H2O for water. Being displayed at full size, this doesn't look like the chemical symbol for H2O. So we're going to go ahead and select just the number 2. So this only applies to the text that you have it applied to, and we're going to choose the superscript. So the one that looks like a little letter under a bigger letter. Excuse me, that's our subscript. Sub meaning below. Subscript. Now, while this shouldn't be part of the demonstration, the change here, I do need to apply some kerning. I'm doing that manually with holding down my Alt key and using my arrow keys to kind of balance that a little better. Additionally, if we want to further adjust this, if we feel like that's too low, I can also work with some baseline shift options here. Typically don't do this to large blocks of text, but this is an instance where if this particular font uses its subscript in a very low fashion, we might choose to bump it up just a little bit as a stylistic choice. Moving on, we have options for, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this. One of the common places that you might see the use of superscript, where you have a small character that is raised above the X height line. Certainly this is used in math equations to represent exponents, things like that. It's also very commonly used as a stylistic choice for applying to prices or asterisks, things like that. So here I want to emphasize these prices. And because we tend to kind of want to de-emphasize the cents in a dollar price, I'm going to first select my dollar sign and make it a superscript. And we can see from the icon that is applied that it's the big letter, and then we have a small character letter at the top. So I'm going to apply that there. I'm also going to apply it to the price. So just click the same thing. What's nice is that these are applied as a style. So when I have text selected, I can see that that style is applied because this is highlighted. If it's not applied, then I don't see any of these being highlighted. So I'm going to repeat this also for the now only $1.99. Superscript, superscript. Especially for larger prices or things that are emphasized for the price in sales promotions, things like that. This could also be potentially used for percentage signs when you say now 20% off. We have that here, so save up to 50%. I'm going to go ahead and make that percent sign a superscript as well. Making these items superscript causes the reader to focus on the larger number and not so much the whole word. Again, here with the percentage off, I'm really focusing on what the percentage value is and not that it is a percentage with having the symbol there. Additional features for formatting might include strike-through and underline. So for emphasis here, I'm going to apply some underline. Otherwise, underline can also be used sometimes for stylistic formatting of certain journalistic styles like might have all book titles are underlined, things like that. So if you have a requirement for something to be underlined, typically you want to avoid excessive use of underline and only apply it sparingly to specific things, even if it's for emphasis, because it can make text harder to read if applied to multiple lines in a paragraph or whole paragraphs. But to apply this style, I'm going to look for the icon. If I hover over it, it is going to tell me that this is underline, or it should. But I can see that I have a tall letter with an underline versus the next one, which is a tall letter with a line striking through it. So I can visually look at these and know which one I'm going to apply. So I just click to apply it, and it does add an underline under my text. Strikethrough is even less commonly used, but in an instance like this, might be a good choice. So it was $3.99, but we want to strike through it to say that is not the current price. It was $3.99. Now it's $1.99. So we might apply that strike through there to help us denote that the price was one thing and now it's something else. This does look a little weird because of the use of the superscript. So for the items that have superscript, I'm actually going to remove that filter so that I have one single strike through across this whole word. But we're striking out the whole price. So again, if I click here, if I click anywhere in the text that those filters are applied, I do see that that filter is applied here. This is a much smarter choice for formatting your text as opposed to using line or shape elements to repeat the same thing, as if I go and increase my text size, that would adjust with it. If I move my text around on the page, it moves with it because these are styles applied directly to the text as opposed to working in combination with other types of shape or line tools.